Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at Ethereum and its valuations against Bitcoin, as well as the US dollar. Ethereum is back below $2,000 after a brief stint above it, but due to the current downside of uh, of Bitcoin coming back down to $56,000, Ethereum is down 6% against the US dollar, down 3.5% against Bitcoin, and thus we're now below the below $2,000. Looking back at to Ethereum Bitcoin, 3.5% isn't terrible. We've been at the we've seen these moves before. I mean, we've seen much worse moves within a day. Again, there's 10, 11 hours left in the day, so you can argue that further downside is possible. What I see right now is nothing to be concerned about. When I flip it to the week, we're only down 2% for the week. It's nothing terrible. We still control much of the gains that we had last week, and I am confident that Ethereum is going to stay fairly bullish. After holding the downward symmetrical triangle that we had drawn here as support and bouncing off of it, we're now also above the 20-week moving average, which some would argue is a bullish indicator for Ethereum, the Ether and Bitcoin chart. We were able to close above it. We're now above it. We potentially might come back down to the 20-week moving average and bounce off of that, but that remains to be seen. I think going forward, it's just more so kind of looking at Bitcoin. If Bitcoin, for example, comes back down to its own 20-week moving average, then things might get a little dicey. Altcoins would bleed considerably um, because the attention would fall back to Bitcoin. No one would want to because Bitcoin is such a is the market mover, and if Bitcoin drops 30% in a week, odds are altcoins are going to drop 30+%. They're going to be dropping faster and harder than Bitcoin, and so people would either flock to stablecoins, um, or on the other hand, back to Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the safer asset. And so if that happens, then we're in a completely different ballgame. What I'm trying to say is that even with this down day for the market, excluding Celsius for some reason, um, this doesn't rewrite our expectations going forward. The narrative is still the same. Altcoins still have a lot more room to grow. Ethereum especially has a lot of room to grow. It being at 1900, $2,000 rounding up, in comparison to a 56, 58, $60,000 Bitcoin, I believe that ratio should be much higher. We should be, and because of that, anything in zero point zero 0.03 territory is a little undervalued for me, um, for Ethereum, and that's why I expect it to come back up eventually to even the playing field and to bring back that comparable ratio for Ether Bitcoin in the grand scheme of the market cycle. In short, Ethereum is lagging behind. We expect Ethereum to rally at some point. It's just a matter of when, not if. And this could just be a minor setback to that ultimate plan of getting back to a higher Ether Bitcoin valuation. In terms of support, I mean, again, the 20-week moving average would be the target of support for Ethereum Bitcoin. It also strongly depends on what Bitcoin's going to do, unfortunately. Even though Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency, it is still subject to Bitcoin movement. And if Bitcoin moves volatile in any direction, then we have a problem. Uh, However, if Bitcoin stays the same, between the ranges of 60,000 to say 51,000 dollars, it when we look at the weekly, it really shows the last 4 weeks Bitcoin hasn't moved too much against the US dollar, and because of that, all coins really benefit from that. When we look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, we're still below the support band, and therefore I think there's further move to the downside for dominance. Therefore, Ether Bitcoin should have a nice rally coming into the future. We'll have more information of clear short-term movements, hopefully in the next few days to few weeks. Um, it really depends on, with Ethereum specifically, it depends on where we're going to close this week. If we're going to close down, are we going to close at the 20-week moving average, or are we going to break it down? Is it something like the week before we come back up? This week we come straight back down and we continue, uh, following the symmetrical triangle? We simply don't know, but it's something that we'll be looking forward to see. Anyway, that is all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.